Welcome to the class on Warrior II or Virabhadrasana II. Today you'll need 2 blocks and a bolster. We will work to open up the inner and outer thighs and to get the hips ready for this basic standing posture. We're going to start in a reclining tree pose or Vrikshasana using the block under the thigh. So take one of your blocks, lie on the back, with the knees bent and the feet on the floor to start out with. Extend the right leg down to the floor and bring the block on the second height underneath the hip. Turn the left foot towards the right inner knee and let the outside of the left leg rest on the block. Make sure that the pelvis stays neutral to the floor. You're not rolling to either side. Shoulder blades also on the floor. And either rest the hands down by the sides, or if you prefer, the arms can reach all the way up and over the head. As you reach the arms up, relax the front of the ribs down. Press strongly into the right leg, grounding the right thigh into the floor. And hold this position for a few breaths. And then let the arms release down to the sides on an exhalation, lifting up the left knee, extending the left leg, bringing the right knee to a bent position, placing the block to the outside of the right leg, and turning the leg out. So coming into that tree pose on the other side, making sure that both hips stay neutral to the floor, and then returning the arms to an overhead position to stretch the body. Grounding into the left leg, relaxing along the inner right thigh. Taking another breath in, and as you breathe out, release the arms down to the sides. From that position, going to come into a half happy baby position. So go ahead and draw the right knee up, lengthening the right leg down, and move the block out of the way. Then let's start with the right leg this time. Bring the knee into the chest, holding on to the back of the knee. A couple of choices here. Either bringing the outside of the knee a little bit to the right and lifting up the sole of the foot and holding this position. Or if you have the arm length, you can bring the arm onto the inside, hold either the big toe or the outside of the foot. Draw the knee down towards the floor, grounding into this left leg strongly. This is to open up the inner thigh, the groin, and the hip. Let the belly sit deeply into the spine. So holding it for just a few moments, few breaths. And then bringing the knee into the chest and extending the leg down to the ground. And trying on the other side, left knee in, either holding the back of the knee, sole facing up, or elbow to the inside, holding the outside of the foot or the big toe. Outside of the foot is definitely a bit more challenging. So belly in, right leg really long, and pull down with that knee towards the outside of the shoulder. Two more breaths there. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Good, and then release, knee to chest, and lengthen the leg down to the floor. Take an inhale to stretch. Do one more thing on the back to open up the hips. This is that thread the needle position. So release the knees, feet back to the floor, knees bent, arms down by the sides. This time take the right ankle in front of the left knee. I'm going to do this in 3 parts. The first part is to rotate the thigh in and out. So we draw the knee toward the midline and then open the knee out. This can be linked with the breath. Taking a breath in as the knee is rolled out, and on the exhale, pull it in towards the center. So inhale, open the knee, external rotation. Exhale, internal rotation. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll it out. Exhale, bring it in. This time let's inhale, roll it out, and stay out. And then bring the right hand to the upper inner right thigh. You do not want to press on the knee because this is not the joint we're trying to affect. We're trying to open up the hip. So bring the hand towards the hip and gently press. You may notice that there's a stretch along the right side of the waist. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep this foot flexed to protect the right knee. Let go with the hand, and our third movement here is going to be to engage the abdomen. Pick up the left leg and bring the right hand between the legs. That's why we call this thread the needle. Clasping the hands to the outside. Making sure the sacrum feels level to the floor. You can bring your right forearm to the inside of the right thigh to push the knee out, if that feels appropriate, making sure that the legs stay flexed. Relax the shoulders, make sure the whole pelvis is on the floor to open up the outer hip. And then releasing, left foot to the floor, uncross the right knee, then extend both legs for a moment. Again, let the arms float up and over the head and a breath in. As you breathe out, rebend those knees. This time, take the left outer ankle, place it in front of the right knee, and start by rolling in and out. So inhale, roll the knee away from the abdomen. Exhale, roll the knee towards the abdomen. Inhale, find external rotation. Exhale, find internal rotation. So 3 more with your own speed, flexing the left ankle the whole time. Good, this warms up the hip. Make sure that there's a lot of synovial fluid around the hip and thigh bone. Then open the knee out to the side. Bring the left hand to the upper inner thigh, flexing here at the foot, and press straight down into the leg. So again, we're trying to feel for some tractioning in the low back and side waist. Try not to roll too much to the left, keeping the tension in the shoulders at a minimum. And then release the hand and start to draw the knees toward the body, holding behind the right thigh, pressing out into the left leg if that feels good on the hip, keeping the hips level, and come into the thread the needle position. Breathing into the sensation that you feel, making sure the breath stays neutral and regular pacing. Make sure there's no pain in any part of the knee. If there is, you're welcome to back off into one of the previous positions. So let's release now. Uncross the legs and bring both knees into the chest. Give them a slight squeeze. You can also rock a little right to left. Roll over to the side. Use the hands to push yourself up, letting the head come up last. Gather up your 2 blocks. Coming into a lunge position with the blocks on the high height. We're going to actually do a little crescent lunge flow. So bringing the right leg forward. Make sure that there is enough space between your right foot and your left knee so that you're not standing too close to the center line. And then make sure that the right leg is forward far enough so that when you come forward, the knee goes over the ankle. You don't want it to look like this. This is not safe for the knee. So make sure that that's happening, this alignment here. Blocks are going to be pretty much around the front ankle or foot. So as you lean forward, lift the chest and breathe in. As you take an exhale now, we're going to start to push the hips back and start to straighten through this front knee. You can either choose to point the ankle as I am, I'm going to move the block out of the way, or flex the ankle, which is a little bit more challenging. So inhale, lean forward, lift the heart, stretching the left psoas. Exhale, pull the right hip back and lean out over the front leg, keeping the heart extended forward. So inhale forward and exhale back. Try to keep the belly button in a track right in the center of the posture so that the hips don't swing side to side. Inhale forward and exhale back. Let's do 2 more. Inhale forward, getting a bit easier each time. Exhale back. Last one. We're going to hold. Inhale forward, finding your balance on your feet, bringing the hands up to the knee, perhaps to the heart, or perhaps up and over the head, lifting up out of the low back as you come into this Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, belly in, hands to blocks. Right hip pulls back, pull back through this right sit bone, away from the right heel. Lift the heart and bring your blocks a little bit further back if that's comfortable. And find this right angle at the bottom. Sit deeply into the right sit bone. And then release. Knee comes under, other leg forward. Hands around the foot. Lean forward, double check the spacing between your 2 legs. You should not be on a tightrope. Lean forward. Inhale, exhale, pull back. Angle out over the leg. Inhale forward, heart lifting. Right psoas stretch. Exhale, left hip pulls back to straighten into the left leg. Inhale forward. And exhale back. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to hold. Hands can sweep knee, heart, or lift. Ground into the back leg. Shoulders releasing. Good. Exhale, belly in. Blocks back. Lengthen back through the left leg. Heart reaching out towards the big toe. Stretching the hamstring. Good. And then bring that knee back underneath. Let's take a child's pose to stretch the back. Butts can come out of the way. Lean back. Lengthen through the sit bones. Keep the shoulders nice and broad. And here would be a good place for a downward dog if you'd like to practice one. So leaning up, toes under, lifting up, and finding your dog pose. And walk the dog. The calves are still feeling tight. Lifting up through the sit bones, releasing the heels down, keeping a nice straight spine. And then inhale to the knees, and exhale. We're going to sit and then stand up. So the next movement is a little Warrior II flow. So if you take the legs wide apart, making sure that they're far enough apart that you feel a bit of a stretch, but not too far apart that you can't stand up easily. We're going to go to the right side first. So turning the right foot out to 90 degrees. Take the left heel back and shift it just a few inches back. So that turns the left foot in about 30 degrees. The hips are diagonally angled. Don't want to force this back leg or hip open. We want to soften this SI joint with the back side. So the flow follows the breath. We're going to come in and out of the Warrior II position in Vinyasa style, starting out by just checking out that this knee is facing the wall, facing the second toe on that leg. You don't want to roll the knee in. This is not good for that knee. So just double checking that with your eyes. And then on an inhalation, the arms are going to come straight out to both sides. As you exhale, bend into the front knee. On the inhale, drop the back arm, put the front hand, lift up into a reverse warrior position. Exhale, bring the arms back out to Warrior II. Inhale, lift by straightening the knee, and exhale, relax the arms to the sides. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the knee into Warrior II. Inhale, reverse the warrior arm position. Exhale, back to Warrior II arms. Inhale, straighten the knee. And exhale, release. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, arms out. Inhale, straighten the knee. And exhale to release. Turn the feet to the center. And then let's turn the feet to the opposite side. So left foot turns out 90 degrees. The right heel shifts back just a few inches so that it turns in, this back hip, belly button and pubic bone diagonally facing. Front knee, when you bend it, make sure it's bending out over the second toe of that front leg. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bend the front knee, Warrior II. Inhale, reverse the arm position. Exhale, arms out. Inhale, straighten the knee. Exhale, arms down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale down. Then turn to the center. Go back to the right. This time we're going to hold Warrior II. Starts the same way. Arms come up on an inhale, and as you exhale, bend the front knee. Try not to lean into the side. You're lifting up this front belly and sit into the front thigh. Reach from the heart into the fingertips of both hands, widening across the upper back, strongly grounding the back leg toward the wall behind you as you gaze out over the front fingertips. The image of this pose is almost as though you're holding onto a spear or holding onto a bow in a very prepared, fierce position. So inhale to straighten the knee. Exhale to bring the arms down, turning the feet back to center. Take a breath to prepare for the second side. And then turn, left foot out, right heel back, grounding here, the back thigh, angling the pelvis, inhaling the arms, and exhale to bend this front knee. So sitting deeply into the front thigh, reaching from the heart out into the hands, lifting up on the left side of the belly. Make sure the breath is still nice and smooth. Good. And then straighten and release and turn center. And then let's lift the arms straight up over the head. As you exhale, fold forward. Come into Prasarita, Padottanasana, wide angle forward bend. If this isn't possible, you could also use the hands on the floor. The hands can be underneath, or you can hold on to the ankles. Feel an even amount of stretch across the two sides of the low back, around the sacrum area, lifting the sit bones up toward the ceiling. And then bring the hands under the chest, lift up through the chest, start to walk heel-toe the feet until you are in an Uttanasana width, so about body's distance apart. And then soft knees, hands to hips, spine lifting at one unit, arms lifting up, stretching here, and then exhaling, hands come to heart. So two more poses. One is a block with under a bridge position for Satubandha, and then Shavasana. So for Satubandha, taking one of the blocks, I'm going to use it on this first height today, laying down on the back, lifting the hips up, bringing the block under the sacrum. You want it to rest so that the waistband of your pants is at or above this block, but it's not where your tailbone is touching the block. Let the palms rest upward, arms on the floor, and turn slightly the toes towards each other so that the heels are a little bit further apart, which creates a sense of broadening and internal rotation around the thighs, broadening of the sacrum and internal rotation of the thighs. And then just relax the front ribs towards the back ribs. Make sure the shoulders and neck feel easy. And close the eyes. So here the block is pushing the sacrum forward, resetting that sacred bone in the back of the pelvis after our Warrior Two. So really you're welcome to stay in this position as long as it feels comfortable to you. I'm going to show you Shavasana So I'll come up, can bring the feet a little closer into the hips, elevate the hips on an inhale, take the block out, let the hips lower on an exhale. Take a little bit of a side-to-side action with the knees after being in bridge. Just relax the hips and back. And then find your bolster. And bring it a little bit closer to the legs. Bring it under the knees. If you want a blanket under the head, that's also an option. Relax the arms to the sides. And let yourself come into Shavasana to rest. So this is where you might need your timer, so give yourself about another 10 minutes to rest. When you're ready to come out of the posture, you'll bend your knees, roll to the side, use the arms to push yourself up, and come back up to a sitting position.